Just north of Miami Beach lies the Haulover Sandbar, a shallow stretch of water famous for weekend parties, where small vessels drop anchor shoulder to shoulder. Among the crowd that Saturday was a charter boat officially named the Naughty Neighbor. While it was running excursions in Florida waters, state wildlife records show the vessel was actually last registered hundreds of miles away in Texas. That afternoon, the boat was operating as a commercial charter, carrying roughly a dozen passengers out for a routine weekend excursion. It is easy to feel safe when you are surrounded by hundreds of other partygoers in waist-deep water, but that density, combined with a total lack of immediate emergency infrastructure, makes any crisis here uniquely dangerous. Just after 12:30 p.m., that danger became a reality when a sudden, massive explosion shattered the afternoon calm. The sheer concussive force of the blast was staggering. According to witness Patrick Lee, the shockwave physically launched 3 passengers completely out of the vessel and into the surrounding water. What fueled that blast was high-octane marine gasoline. It ignited instantly, creating a violently hot, fast-moving fire that spread rapidly across the surface of the water. The primary detonation left multiple passengers severely injured, suffering extensive, debilitating burns across their bodies. A recreational vessel is essentially a fiberglass shell built over a tank of combustible fuel. When that fuel ignites, the boat immediately transforms into a burning trap in the middle of a crowded sandbar. For the victims, surviving the initial blast was only the first hurdle. They were now stranded in the water with horrific burns, totally exposed without any structural safety or access to basic pain medication. Camera operators on the water captured a chaotic, improvised rescue. To escape the flames and find a safe deck, severely injured passengers were forced to jump from one tightly packed boat to another. Even after those boat-to-boat transfers, the ordeal continued. Good Samaritans had to ferry the victims to a nearby marina, where they faced the agonizing task of physically climbing out of the boats and onto the concrete docks to reach help. Dispatch audio from the frantic 911 calls details the gruesome reality of the trauma. First responders noted a pediatric victim suffering from both major burns and a compound femur fracture. The geographic isolation of a sandbar turns a medical emergency into a brutal physical gauntlet. Victims have to endure an agonizing, high-risk extraction process before professional medics can even make contact. Realizing the high number of critical patients, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue immediately upgraded their dispatch, triggering a Level 2 mass casualty incident protocol. This classification initiated a massive deployment. Within minutes, more than 25 individual rescue units converged on the Haulover Marina. To secure the blast zone, the department deployed specialized water assets, sending heavy-duty fireboats and dedicated ocean rescue dive teams straight into the wreckage. They didn't work alone. Critical partner agencies, including the Coast Guard and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, rushed in to secure the broader marine environment. A Level 2 marine response operates like a coordinated military extraction. It requires land, sea, and command assets working in perfect synchronization to triage and transport multiple victims simultaneously. By the end of the operation, crews successfully pulled 11 individuals from the scene, rushing all of them to local area hospitals for emergency treatment. The patients suffering the most severe trauma and burn injuries were transported directly to Jackson Memorial Hospital, specifically to their highly equipped Ryder Trauma Center. The immediate fire is now extinguished, but the wreckage leaves many questions. Officials are actively investigating exactly what mechanical fault or human error triggered the detonation. In the wake of the disaster, safety officials issued a warning. With busy boating seasons drawing massive crowds to the water, the risk inherent to marine machinery is significantly amplified. Investigators are still working to determine what happened aboard the Naughty Neighbor, but the 11 people hospitalized that afternoon serve as a reminder of the water's inherent volatility and why officials insist that a thorough mechanical check is the only way to ensure a weekend excursion doesn't end in a Level 2